In all things, give thanks.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
In all things, give thanks. I need y'all to give a round of applause for that. First, to my wife, who is not only my love, my best friend, she's someone that I learn from each and every day. The Lord has blessed me twice in the same way. I tell people that I had the rare privilege of living with my hero. And I speak of my father, who I had the opportunity to learn from and grow from and teach me so many principles and a love for people. And the reality is I still live with my hero because my wife inspires me every day. She inspires me through her work. There are things that she does in her work that I actually take to the office. And I think that it makes me a pretty intelligent man to marry someone far smarter than me. Right? And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for not only what she has taught me, all that she has given me, but I'm grateful for her patience. I'm grateful for her forgiveness because I'm not perfect, right? I'm grateful for the fact that, she has spent more time with our children, all of the moments that I had to travel and go so many places. My daughters don't know me not as mayor, right? In fact, Alake was born in the midst of our first campaign.
Right.
And while we didn't win that, we've been campaigning her whole life, right? We've been campaigning her whole life. And apparently Nubia's grown today because she said when she was little, right? But Nubia, you watched our children born in this city. And so that makes you family. You've been with us the entire time, and I'm proud of these little girls. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get a first and a front row seat to all the things that y'all will continue to do, right? Y'all mean the world to me. And you look like everyone I love. You look like everyone I love. And I want you to know that you mean the world to me. Give a round of applause to your first time. Jackson, Mississippi, it has been an honor. It has been the professional privilege of my life to serve you. I want you to know what we have accomplished. We've not only, been able to make serious investments into our infrastructure, we took what was a locally enduring challenge. Not only water insecurity in the sense that it's inconvenient and the sense that it, doesn't allow you to take care of your sanitary needs or the ability to cook, but when people deal with the humiliation of, having to find alternative child care for their children because a school is closed. When people deal with the humiliation or the challenge of having to find alternative means to put food on the table because you work in a service industry and your hours are cut back. When people have to wait in long water distribution lines and are made to feel like they're begging for the things that they already deserve. I want you to know what you accomplished. Because we took that from our local challenge that we speak to neighbor to talk about, well, the water's out today. And you made the world, you made the nation see value in you. You made the nation make a historic investment in this city. And so I want you to know how wonderful you are. When it came to the challenge of our school system, it was you who rallied together. It was students at Murrah that came together that talked about organizing and protesting and demonstrating so that they could protect their education. And when we advised them that we needed them to hold off at a certain point, they were disciplined enough to do it. And so we saved our school system. We took a multinational corporation to task in Siemens when they did bad by us with a water meter installation. And I share this not just to give the accomplishments of our administration, and I can go on and on and on about those. But I want you to know what this has always been about. This has not been about an individual. This has not been about an administration being so amazing. I take this moment to remind you that you, Jackson, Mississippi, are an amazing city, filled with amazing people.
Tell it, brother.
And the moment we begin to grab hold of that, the moment we begin to grab hold of that, we can accomplish anything. In the words of Marcus Garvey, up you mighty race, accomplish what you will. This has been a labor of love, but I've enjoyed every moment. I want to take a moment to address my team. First, I want to look at this gentleman. Somebody said, who's this Hondo fella? I thank you for not only standing by me, but standing by my father, being his brother. You stood by him when there weren't claps and applause. You stood by him when people told residents who he was. When they said that he was some radical that was going to be a problem, when people said that he was a problematic attorney and all of those things, you stood by him. So while I've had to pick up my driver every day, right, it's been worthwhile because I needed the same thing that you gave my father. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for that. If Gladys were here, she'd call you Honda, right? Gladys Scott from the Scott Sisters was out campaigning with us. And I want to shout her out while she's not here. Dr. Omari. I'm going to call you what I really call you. Mama Safia. I thank you for your love. I thank you for taking the arrows to defend me. I thank you for even when you had to ignore me when I say, oh, this is going to be okay. And you had to go out and make it clear because you were so passionate. Because you understand that my mama ain't here for me. And so you stepped in the role to defend me like my mama would have wanted to defend me. And so I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I want to thank Louis and Fidelis for joining our team. It was always important to me that we built a team around more than just ability, but sincerity. I have never questioned your motives one day in this work. And while we've dealt with some very, very difficult challenges, it has always given me peace to come into a room with a team that I know not only is going to look at how we solve this issue, but they're going to look at how we do this in love and sincerity to the people. And so I thank you. And in this opportunity, I've actually grown to love you like family. And so I ask that you give them a round of applause. I want to speak of Tiffany, and some of you may not know who Tiffany Murray is. Tiff has been my executive assistant, both my and Dr. Omari's executive assistant. And I've always said that if I had 5 Tiffany's, I can do anything in this city, right?
That's right.
I want to thank you for the professionalism that you bring to this job each and every day. I want to thank you for how you've kept me specifically on task, right? To make sure that I was at all of the places that I needed to be. All of the things that you manage, I want you to know that you are one of the best hires that we ever made in the city of Jackson. And I appreciate you. I'm looking at Chief Owens, and there's more that I want to say, but I'm looking at Chief Owens, and I want to speak to the many directors that have taken such, amazing approach to this work every day. Ensuring that, our job isn't to get reelected each year. Our job is to make sure that we're in a better place than we were each year, right? And so I thank you for that. I thank you for that. I thank you, Melissa. Thank you for the many fights where you say, don't say that, right? You can't say that. Instead, we're going to try to say it this way. So I want y'all to know I appreciate you. We started this work. In fact, before we started this work, my father tried to get me to consider politics. And I told him that I had no desire for it whatsoever.
Me neither.
And in fact, I told him that if y'all can convince Ebony, y'all can convince me. And I knew it was no convincing her. But I want to remind you where it all started. February 25th, 2014. The day my father died, and I realized that leadership must come less out of political ambition and more out of necessity. It is necessary that we have a radical love for our city. A love that is unyielding, a love that won't allow our people to be taken advantage of. A love where we're unwilling to be told no, a love where we're unwilling to settle for the scraps on the table. Right. And so I thank y'all for being there. I thank all of the campaign workers that have been knocking on doors for weeks and weeks and weeks in the hot sun and the rainy days. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. And while you may have been characterized otherwise, I want you to know what you have represented. The example you have laid out. You've laid out an example of loving your city.
Yeah.
Loving your city enough for the issues to be out there. For people to know and trying to educate people about not only what the challenges have been, what the progress that has been made, and where we have to go moving forward. Because we know that we have a lot of work to do in this city. We know that we have a lot of work to do in this city, and we need the people to be a part of that process. The people's assemblies ain't gonna stop, y'all. Opportunities where we come together to talk about how we build, how we grow, how we develop, that ain't gonna stop. And if you thought I was a problem as a mayor, you're gonna really get a problem out of me as an organizer and an attorney. Because I won't stop. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. I thank my parents. I thank my parents for bringing us to Jackson, Mississippi, where we had no family, where we knew very few people, but they had a love for this city and they had a love of this idea of what we could do building a self-determined community. And so we're going to push forward for that. We're going to continue to push for that. And I don't want anyone to be dismayed. I don't want anybody to think that because, we're not in the mayor's office, that means this work stops. To be clear, we started this work, Sekou, by doing demonstrations on the mayor's office, right? We started this work by making sure we did direct action so people could have information and understanding. To the Jackson residents, I want to be clear, I am disappointed in the result. But I want you to understand that I won't stop working for you. I won't stop fighting for you. I won't stop building with you, right? I know there was a lot that you were given to think about in this election. a lot that they told you about who I am and who we are, right? And I want to be clear. I want to be clear that I am not guilty of any crime. I'm not guilty of bribery. I'm not guilty of a quid pro quo. And I want to be clear in that. If you look to the team, if you look at what it took, right? It took an empire, right? It took an empire. But I want y'all to also be clear that this was never about this office, and it was never about me, right? And so y'all have a responsibility to keep this work going, right? I want you to know I love y'all, and we're going to finish the same way we started. First of all, one city, one aim, one destiny. One city.